Good evening, everyone. Let's see if you guys can hear me now. Think I got it all. Good evening, everybody. There we go. That should be fixed now. Let's get this going tonight. Whoever's asking, the farms are only available on tour. Leighton Whiteclod. I wish I could be. Once again, tonight is a school night. Got stuff to do. So maybe at some point this summer we'll have a Thursday night where we can just get lit up. But not now. Not now. We got to start off with who got first tonight. Toothless 420 first. It's what always matters. It's the most important thing. And you got it. So good job. Over under being muted again. Well, I think we fixed that. Always pancakes. Yeah, it's never a bad idea. Pancakes are never a bad choice. Hope you guys are having a good week. You know, it's Thursday, getting ready for Friday. Should be a long weekend. Hopefully you get to enjoy it. If you do celebrate Memorial Day and you're remembering those you served with who are fallen, well, hope it's peaceful. Hope it's not stressful. Job well done. How you doing? Canada isn't real. Very true. Very true. Hello, everybody. Hello, Tina Reynolds. Neither's Australia. Well, those spiders they have in Australia, they're very real. Say. Well, Sean pull out a gun forgetting he's on YouTube again. When did I do that? I'm pulling out a gun. Like, I don't know. What are you pulling out a gun? I'm confused. What are you talking about? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. Tina's saying Aussie's doing a drinking stream. He threw up the last time. Yes, he did. And he tried to, I'll give him credit. He tried to, try to do it on the down low. See, I'm too busy reading Kiwi Farms. Not yet. Not yet. I only read them. It's interesting when they're talking about me. It's a little weird. So just so you guys know, you guys are not right. If you're anybody here from the farms watching, you are not correct. I think some of I generally appreciate the psychoanalysis on other people, but my reasons aren't really the reasons you're thinking of, but you guys give me a lot more credit than I deserve. I can tell you that much. How about I just leave it at that? You guys think I'm far more intelligent than I deserve to be afforded. So, hello everybody in the Rumble Ghetto, Winter Soldier, and J-Man. How are you guys doing? I forgot to get the live chat going. Oh, hold on for locals. Yes, over at potentiallycriminal.locals.com, where you can go over there and do whatever you want. For the most part. Where is... There it is. Hold on, guys. Fixing that. There we go. Magnus first or something like that. Yeah, close enough. Close enough. Close enough. Hi, Diamonds. Hey, Porcelain Thunder. Brittany, hello. Necromancer, hello. Captain Chromo, hello. Give me a knife check from chat, actually. I actually don't know where my knife is right now. My knife. Jim, how are you doing? Was I late because I was getting a swimsuit at Target? First of all, lower your voice. Lower your voice, bro. A-dubs, how are you doing? Where do we learn how to get creases out of our fresh Nazi flags? Hey, this one, to be fair, it looks like they got the creases out at first. Metal Matt is saying, hi, Sean. I'm at work painting the new Aero Precision suppressors. Cool. Sounds like fun. Freedom Thinkers saying the Indians are taking all our jobs again this week. Yes. All the jobs that white people don't want to do, including attacking the White House. That's below us now. Nerna said, is that a 29 mountain rag? Yes, it was. I'm glad you noticed. Almost says I'm too busy watching Fish Tank to read the farms. I'm not gonna lie, Fish Tank is growing on me. This is pretty cool. I mean, Sam Hyde is a genius. I mean, he's doing all this, and you watch iDubbbz just literally slitting his throat on camera. Well, actually, he's not doing it; his wife is doing it. So maybe we should cover that as a crime. Anissa killing Ian's career. See where everybody else is here. The Relfi, hey brother. Well, you're from Canada. That doesn't count. We already established Canada's not real. So Eric saying I'm a Josie cell. I'm not, Okay, saying I need they don't have big enough tuck options, yes. Job well done, said Ian took Anissa's name. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Captain Chroma says, I'd love to see the contract they signed for Fish Tank. Yeah, I think that'd be very interesting to see what they did. That would be interesting to say the least. I'm sure it's basically like Sam can kill you. Oh, not just that just sounds it just sounds bad. It just sounds bad. It really does. Makes me a little nervous. So also holy cow. Okay, over on locals, Brimstone sent in $1 tip. Last week I forgot to tell you, I appreciated you doing that like I was a stripper, $1 at a time. Says equity is communism, changed my mind. Well, I'm not going to. And then he sent a $13 tip. Oh, DeSantis, yes. Captain of the baseball team and Yale cum laude graduate, JAG officer at Gitmo, federal prosecutor, resume of a turbo homo. Yes. Yep. Yeah, I got my, people in Florida are liking DeSantis, and I think that's good enough. He can stay there. But we shall see. We shall see. Time will tell. We do have some interesting news. Sarah Boone, I guess we'll another couple minutes, let some people in. We do have some great things to talk about tonight. Sarah Boone rides again. Well, writes again, actually. And this time we have all the pages, not just a couple of them, which I know that was the problem last time. We had to guess about her guessing about her spurgness, but this time we get it. And well, I gotta that's a shame. Says I'll bring my steamer to the next rally. Yes, we need your help getting the flag straightened out. A-Dub says they released the Indians manifesto. It's titled Korean Soil. Oh my god, that's good. My good. Oh. Toothless 420 says, for Fish Tank, the contracts might be in the contracts it says the next shooting might be the real one. Oh. All right, guys, we're about ready to get into it. We are this is who we are says Alyssa Clips is the best clipper. Yes, she is. She's really good at it. She's really good at it, whether it's embarrassing or funny. She doesn't hold back. Smudge, hello. Dweez, hello. Say Jacob, hello. Darbsec, hello. I think I've seen you before in here. So thanks for stopping by. I apologize if I haven't said hello before. We're gonna hold off on Sarah Boone for a second, guys. Oh, and Grim's Bar's here. Hey, Grim, how you doing, buddy? So, all right. So I guess we'll get started with the White House U-Haul attacker. If you guys aren't aware, a gentleman did try to attack the White House with a U-Haul truck, which I know what you guys are thinking. Like, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I promise. I'm just saying, if I was going to do it, I'd have a plan. Probably be a little better than this one. But there was a plan, and the guy did attack the White House. Um, and what happened? Well, we know a couple things that happened. Um, basically, what happened was a gentleman who is of Indian descent and actually is not a United States citizen, and I'm pretty sure is an Indian citizen himself, tried to attack the White House with a U-Haul truck. Now, he actually got a little, well, yeah, it's a little false flaggy to me. I agree. It's kind of like, what? I'm like, bruh, what's going on here? Because there's so much of it that just doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. And we'll get to the parts that I think just don't make any sense here. Um, so what we're gonna do is we'll start off with, I guess, video. And if you guys want to see the video of it, it's not as cool as you think it is. But hey, you know what? For those of us out there, um, I guess look at it as like a child would watch Derek Jeter playing baseball. Give yourself a place to dream. Give yourself some things to dream about. Yes, this is an op by T Series to go after PewDiePie. But there was somebody filmed this happening, and I'm surprised this car didn't get shot apart. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Um, Jacob saying, was there media there waiting for him? There wasn't media there waiting for him. It's DC, so people are always walking around. Although it could be media. I mean, let's be real. It could be that. But we'll bring it up, and you guys can just take a look at it, and we'll start there. Okay. So it's only 8 seconds long, but it does show us what's going on there. And we'll start with this. Now, for those of you wondering, he ran into a defensive bollard, which you need a lot of oomph to get past. I mean, like more than you can get a hold of. So you got to find another way. Just saying, it's kind of like when you go on a bear hunt. Can't go around it, can't go under it, got to go over it. So, as that happened though, Yes, Brittany says D for effort. Yeah, I know. And also, we didn't find the 60,000 pounds of missing fertilizer in the back of his truck. It was just empty. But like I said, D for effort, but at least he got the U-Haul part right. The next screen that the next thing that was shown as he was being arrested, um, was, and I just brought that up again for some reason because I'm an idiot. Um, some of the stuff that glowed here, and this is one of the parts that really glowed. As they were searching the car, look at that. They had to lay out the flag. Really, when they're searching the car to figure out what's going on, they're not like, oh, ooh, we got to wave this around for everybody. No, oh, flag, throw it on the ground, keep moving. But to lay it out like that, why? What purpose did that serve? I mean, it did serve a purpose. It did serve a purpose, but it was not. Obviously, it is to. Yes, it was a photo op at that point. Yes. Oh, sure, Fox. Yes, never let the flag touch the ground. It's not. That's not the. We're not. Oh my god. I'm glad I'm not drinking water right now. Brother, look at me, brother. We're not we're not talking about the same flag here. I think you're talking about a different flag than me. Oh. Jacob Castro's right. Bruh. Oh. So yeah, a lot of this just doesn't make sense. It's too good to be true. It just there's problems all over the place with this. So he did end up getting arrested. Surprise, surprise. And we learned his name. And you're using the New York Post a lot today, so it just kind of works out that way sometimes. He is an alleged neo-Nazi. And why do we know that? Well, he is a fan of the Nazis. Sai Varshith Kandula appeared in court, and he's being jailed until his next hearings. He is from Missouri, and he slammed the trucks into barriers on Lafayette Square, which, if you guys don't understand how close that is, I'm going to show you because, yeah, here's a picture. We'll get to these pictures. You can see it right there. That's how close to the White House he was. I mean, Lafayette Square is pretty freaking close. Pretty freaking close. With all the restrictions, that's about as close as you can get with a vehicle now. And I think there's even a daylight picture. Yeah. Here in daylight, this is how close he was to the White House. You see that next, right up there? There's all those people. That's the fence to the White House. So he wasn't that far away, actually. And this is one of the ballers he ran into. And obviously the cops looking at it like, there's no way this doesn't, like, all he did was scuff the paint on that thing. That thing is 100% good to go right now. So, but yes, he just dug up some dirt and caused some problems there. So we'll go back up though. And, yes, there was nothing in the truck. So much potential. You know what? Now I know how Gordon Ramsay and like Joe and Aaron feel on MasterChef. It's like your theory is great. Your heart was into it, but your execution was just lacking so much. I mean, you're going to do a Ryder truck and you don't have any fertilizer. That's like a molten lava cake that's not molten. Just you can't have that. Can't have that. I understand how they feel now. I understand how Gordon Ramsay feels. I really do. But yes, as you can see, here is the better picture of the Nazi flag all laid out. So, yes. And a couple of you are saying, yes, why didn't he get shot up right away? I'm a little curious of that myself because that area is crawling with police at all times. National Park Police, Secret Service uniformed, and also more than likely Secret Service undercovers as well. Why did he not get attacked? So, um, Toothless 420 saying, so hypothetically, would the 60,000 pounds of fertilizer be able to reach the building from there? Huh. Let's see. Explosive power of fertilizer. £60,000. Let's see if there's a calculator for this. I mean, it would rattle the windows, but it probably would just make a hole in the ground ultimately. Ag is saying yes. I mean, yeah, you would definitely affect the White House, but it's going to survive more than likely. Sean is on a list now. A list now. I'm going to end up being on a list because I'm on every other list. They're just going to have a list of like guys on all our lists. Oh, that's a shame. It says ask ChatGPT. Okay, yeah. ChatGPT. I can be like chilly. I'm asking about how to do stuff here. Try. Log in with your OpenAI account. Oh, I am not fucking with this right now. Maybe we'll do that another day. So, what is the TNT equivalent of ammonium nitrate? Ammonium nitrate's such a low order explosive. You need a ton of that to equate to what TNT and RDX do. You need tons of it, comparatively speaking. TNT and RDX are effective explosives. And it's like, and even on top of that, like C4, which is like expands at like 26,400 feet a second or something like that. I don't remember that because I took a class in ROTC where some guy had just gone to sapper school and was teaching us all that. It's like, it's pretty fuck cool. So we'll get back to what's going on here, though. No one was interested in the crash. He struck the barriers before boxing in a second time. Then he hopped out of the truck. And he went back to the back of the truck, which at that point, I am still surprised there was no federal agent going like this, boop, 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 with some sort of submachine gun or rifle and air conditioning this guy. I mean, really, he just crashed and then he runs around in the back of his car. I mean, and the officer watched him remove a red, white flag in the center console from a backpack he was carrying. He reaches into a backpack and like, you're still not like, boom, boom, boom. Like, what are you doing? What did you think? Like, are you sitting there just like, is the cop thinking like, oh, this is going to be okay. I like where this is going. Guy's got a backpack on. Geez, I'm like, why isn't this guy dead yet? And yes, he rented the U-Haul truck and he said his goal was to get to the White House, seize power, and be put in charge of the nation. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, that sounds good. When he's asked what would you do, he's like, kill the president if that's what I'd have to do. And we heard anybody who stands in my way. Once again, you've got to love a man with a plan. He claims he was successful because he sent a message. Just like the Joker. It's about sending a message. He has a book. He has a book which is a green book in which he had written his plans under the White House and hoped that he would accomplish. So he has a manifesto. Lone Alaska over on Rumble says Sean is the list. Yes. Yes. So Yes, apparently he went on to praise Nazism for its great history, their authoritarian nature, eugenics, and their one world order. When asked if he looked up to any leaders, the document states that Kandula answered Hitler because he was a strong leader. And then apparently people went to school with him, said they thought he was a lunatic, which, okay. Well, I guess. And also here's a picture of our boy, the hacker known as 4chan. So yeah, he's gonna have a fun time with that. He is going to have a very fun time with that. Very, very fun time with that. Now, the reason why we're talking about this is charges have been downgraded. Downgraded charges. He was originally charged with threatening to kill, kidnap, or inflict harm on a president, vice president, or their family members, assault with a dangerous weapon, reckless operation of a motor vehicle, and trespass and destruction of federal property. I mean, if you say you're going to do it, I mean, that's your plan. Okay, cool. His charges have now been downgraded to a single count of depredation of property of the United States in excess of $1,000. That's not a felony. I want you to hear that right. That charge right there is not a felony. It's not a felony. Now, yes, he's not a United States citizen, so he's probably going to get deported. But that charge right there is not a felony. I mean, literally, he drove a car and attempted to ram the White House, and they're just like, it's all good, brah. You know, I can only think of people recently who have been convicted in the past. Oh, I don't know, 2.5 years now, almost 3 years now, for various levels of misdemeanor and felony offenses, and they spent forever in jail and were abused and treated like shit by the government. And yeah, happened in a cold month. I think it was January. And may have been like, I think it was like the 5th day. Hold on. Yeah. Wait, no. January 6th. So what do we know? Well, why do I bring this up? Because this dovetails into the next thing today. And I guess when you see that and you see what the government did. But then you see what happens here. Stewart Rhodes, the founder of the Oath Keepers, was sentenced to prison for 18 years for seditious conspiracy. Woo! This guy got 18 years. You know, claiming, he was in a conspiracy to overthrow the government. Conspiracy to overthrow the government. When this guy says, I actually want to do that too. And I'm willing to kill anybody who gets in my way, including the president. And like, it not only just saying he's going to do that, but he showed up ready to play, even though he's a lunatic. He showed up doing what he thought could do it. And no. Sorry. You know, we're not going to charge him with a felony. We're not going to charge him with anything. He can sit in prison for a long time. Nope, just a misdemeanor. This guy, though, fuck him, 18 years. Mr. Anti-Commie says, is he related to Eye Patch McCain? No, he actually doesn't have an eye. He doesn't have an eye. So. But yes. makes you like, you can say, and you can hear people say we have multiple justice systems in this country. I mean, here you fucking go. Here you go. This is multiple levels of justice for you. Just absolute injustice. But yeah, anyways, getting to it. He is sentenced to 18 years in prison for his role in the seditious conspiracy to disrupt the electoral count. Okay. And the guy who claims I'm going to ram the White House and kill everybody inside, well, he's just in trouble for scuffing the paint on one of the bollards. And they point out that given the raw nature of the charge, his prison term can influence any sentence. Enrique Tarrio, the former chairman of the far right, the Proud Boys. The Proud Boys did nothing wrong. They are just a group of proud Western chauvinists who refuse to apologize for creating the modern world and will face the same charge later this summer. Yeah, so, Enrique Tarrio is probably looking at 10 to 15 years himself. Yes. I love this quote from the judge. You, Sora, present an ongoing threat and peril to this country and to the very fabric of our democracy, said U.S. District Judge Amit Mehta. Oh, fuck you, Judge Mehta. You fucking pussy. You coward motherfucker. You wouldn't know a threat to democracy if it was pissing in your coffee. Yes. And for the first time in a case related to January 6th attack, this judge found the conduct amounted to terrorism and factored that into his calculations under the sentencing advisory guidelines, which is interesting because when you had people like in New York City, like two attorneys throwing like real Molotov cocktails, which the federal government treats like you're throwing a grenade, like it's a bomb throwing communist committing real terrorism. Well, they don't consider that terrorism. They just get 18 months in prison. But this is terrorism. Ooh. Yes, and great, brave little Merrick had to jump in. Today's sentences reflect the grave threat the actions of these defendants pose to our democratic institutions, said Merrick Garland. The Justice Department will continue to do everything in our power to hold those criminally responsible for January 6th's attack on our democracy. I am just so mad I didn't get on the Supreme Court. Woo, woo, woo. Still, what kind of a name is Merrick? But I guess makes sense. Now, you do learn things about Rhodes. Graduated Yale Law School. Yep. He did something you should never do. He testified. And the prosecutors blew his shit up because of all his prior statements. Good job. Don't testify. If your attorney tells you it's not a good idea, that's a sign. But once again, guys, this is where they use everything you say and do. And remember, these things here, this right here, this, the Samsung A, well, I'll do it like price right. Well, Drew, this is a Samsung A42 smartphone. Well, you can get it here on The Price is Right. This thing's a tattle machine. This thing is a snitch log. Because what did they do to Stewart Rhodes? Okay, we aren't getting through this without civil war. And the final defense is us and our rifles. Okay, remember, everything you say can and will be used against you. Everything. Everything. So, Larry saying McConnell did us a solid by blocking Garland. Yes, he did. I mean, this man is such a chip on his shoulder. Oof. Jake Chrisman says Garland goes on a tree, and we know what to do with old trees. I have no further comment on that question. I have no further comment. Because everything you say, I'm sure they pulled those off his phone. And here's the great parts about it. Unlike everybody else, Rhodes never entered the building. Instead, presided over an action like the general in the battlefield. The prosecutors told jurors last year. Yeah, okay. You know, this is the best part, though. He had a 20-minute remark, and he made a lot of statements, and I think the judge, interrupted by the judge who asked him to wrap up. You're giving, if he's getting fucking 18 years, he's earned the right to talk. You fucking coward. He said his goal is to become the American Solzhenitsyn, referring to Alexander Solzhenitsyn, who wrote the Gulag Archipelago. I mean, you know, he wants to, you know, to expose the criminality of the regime. Stewart, I don't need you to go to prison to know the regime's the criminality of it. I don't need that. Like, you can do that, but you're not telling me nothing new I didn't know. The judge did not believe that he was being targeted for political reasons. And I'm sure the judge agrees with Merrick Garland. The seditious conspiracy is among the most serious crimes an individual American can commit. Is an offense against the people of this country. Oh, woo. So sad. Oh. Kelly Meggs, the co-defendant, was also found guilty and was sentenced to 12 years in prison, which, okay, not as bad as 18. And then the judge heard from emotional accounts of police officers and congressional staffers. Oh, the poor congressional staffers. Oh, my God. They continue to suffer aftershocks of the assault on their workplace. Oh, no. Oh, no. People were mad at us for being scumbags. Oh, no. Oh, whoa. I used to enjoy coming to work each day, proud to be a police officer, but the defendants took that away from me, said Paul Whittle. How we done? Those big mean people made me not want to be a policeman no more. Boo, woo, 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 woo. If you're that big of a pansy, how did you ever arrest people? Like, you go up against a real criminal. Is he going to, like, shake your psyche all the way? It's like, what do you do? I can only imagine when he gets home after he made an arrest. Honey, the man I arrested, he called me a faggot. I couldn't take it. I need to quit. Like, fucking get a hold of yourself, Harry. Yeah, D.C. Metropolitan Police Officer Chris Owen said his wife burst into tears after seeing his bruised and battered body when he returned home. You know, my physical traumas and bruises have healed, but the emotional traumas stay with me to this day. I'm sure the people you arrested could say the same thing, brother. I'm sure the people you've arrested. I mean, let's be real. You work for the D.C. Police Department. Not exactly like the straightest outfit out there. And then this person here who, jeez, do not drink, do not breathe water. Not a good idea. Terry McCullough, who served as the chief of staff to former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Yes, this person's going to be 100% credible in what they have to say. So the Capitol became a crime scene. The defendants violated our workplace, our government, our democracy. But they did not succeed because democracy succeeded. Shit sounds like it's straight out of Veep. Oh. Fucking ridiculous. But yes, you don't see these people crying about the guy trying to ram the gates. Oh. Pyramid 7 says appeals coming. Eric Foam says Officer Sicknick was dead tired after that day. Oof. Oof. Yeah. Yes, Jay Crispin says soy cop. Yes, 100% soy cop. Eric Foam says, yes, did he do the same things Ray Epps did? Yes. Yes, so basically Ray Epps was outside too. It's kind of funny how that all works out. You know, we'll touch on that too. Why anything happened to Ray Epps? So, yeah, just it's been a little bit of a pissing off day. Gotta stop smoking. Jeez, if I start smoking, I die. That would kill me. Eric Foam says Pelosi has PTSD every time she smells fecal matter. Yeah, maybe. Yes. So there's some super chats though we need to catch up on, guys, and I apologize. We'll get to those. So we've got actually we'll get some of these out of the way too. Parallax says if he had used a Ryder truck, he wouldn't have had a problem. Yeah, maybe our Penske truck. This who we are says he's definitely Indian. Look how bad he drives. Necromancer says, do not redeem. This guy probably. Peyton Wong says glow op. Parallax says photo op. Yeah, I mean, both yes and yes. Kimbo Nice says, where do we send the fertilizer for you? To your office? Yeah, I mean, sure, I'll take deliveries there. Just throw in the back of my car. Walter Malone for $10. Thank you, Walter. I appreciate the super chat and the support. He says, why is every white supremacist brown? I don't know. It's weird. I guess that's how powerful white supremacy is. It makes everybody a white supremacist. At least that's the answer people will tell you. That's a shame for $9.99. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. Says Chat GPT was lame. Oh, so you'd talk to Chat GPT in the meantime. Okay. So apparently it would say, yes, large boom, but the White House is well protected. Yeah, the White House is meant to take a lot of damage. Besides, if you play Call of Duty 2, the White House could take a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. And don't only felonies or crimes of violence make you deportable. Oh, I'd like to think so, but I mean, depending on what type of, if he's a non-resident, depending on what type of visa he's here on things, maybe he's probably, so yeah, he can have fun with that. Freedom Thinker says sock just strikes again. Oh. So Eric V says we're so bad at white supremacy, we have to outsource it. Yes. Yes. What do we have over here in Rumble real quick? Job well done says officers don't wear capes anymore. I'm not sure they ever did, really. Winter Soldier says Slumdog U-Haul truck failure. Yeah. That's a funny way to look at it. All right. So I wonder who they would trade for him. I don't know. That is a good point. What would they do with it? All right. So where are we there? Gosh, 44 minutes. We only got 2 stories in. Well, I guess it's time to keep moving. So Sarah Boone, our girl. I guess we'll get to her now. We'll get the foreplay out of the way and just get right to it, down and dirty. Sarah Boone, our girl. Well, she wrote another letter. And this letter is dated 5/18/2023. And she wrote it 5/15/2023. So we're going to start reading that. If you guys don't remember, Sarah Boone is the suitcase killer out of Florida, which when she goes to trial in July, we will be covering that. Although I will be in trial the first day or two, and then I'll be right into it right afterwards. Jim says officers don't wear capes, they wear skirts. Yes. Porcelain Thunder says, let me guess, needs another lawyer. Well, let's read this one, and I mean, if she's telling the truth, this is not good. Sarah Fuck says, let's unpack this story. Oh, okay. So let's get to it. What did Sarah have that we need to learn? All right. So why won't this? All right, you know what? We're going to save this as we're not going to read on this because I can open it wider in. That's what she said. I can open it wider. We are going to open it wider in just normal Acrobat. All right. This will be easier to read for everybody, including myself. Nicholas Taylor says her handwriting gives me a chubby. Oh. So. Okay, guys. Yes, it's an open shut case. Leave the dad jokes for the end. Leave the dad jokes for the end, please. Okay. So once again, we have it's referred to the judge, and when it goes to the judge, everybody gets to see it because otherwise it's an ex parte communication. So Judge Wayne Wooten, attorney Frank Bankowitz, and the whole wide world. You know, to quote the great Gary Oldman, for those of you who might want to put your ears on, take your ears out real quick. Everyone! Now, at first, this kind of reads like a Bedros Koulian thing, where it's like perspective, the Merriam-Webster's dictionary. I wonder how many people are actually going to actually look up the definition to see if it's the same. I wonder how many website hits the word perspective will get. Definition 1. The science of painting or drawing so that objects represented have an apparent depth and distance. 2. The aspect in which a subject or its parts are mentally viewed, a view of things as objects or events in their true relationship or relative importance. Buy my CD to learn how to make a better business. Please review so everyone has a clear, better understanding of my continued concerns, hindrances, and questions and frustrations with the justice system and the solid absolute remissness. Oh, oh, come on, Sarah. It's like the Land Before Time. Sarah! I can't let that one go. I can't let that one go. You're Sarah, let the word get to you. Get out. They got fucking thesauruses in jail. I know they do. Ain't nobody using them. So there ain't nobody using them. You'll be able to get that. And nobody's going to need to borrow it back. The remissness of my case and the due process of I am and have been waiting very patiently and maintaining what I can since no one else has or will, it seems. I feel at this point, 6 attorneys later, 39 months, almost 3.5 years, which I will make, and not by choice. I need to make all aware of my immense struggle with this extreme mismanagement of my case to date. Okay, she is. This is very. I read a little bit of this earlier. She's very fired up, and this is very, I think, very pointed. You know, as she starts going on, let's look at the bigger picture perspective to get a better view of what I've had more than enough time to see and realize. I'm hoping by doing so, eyes can finally be open and very overdue, long for progress and finalization can be had. The growing mass of ignorance, manipulation, and slander and advantageous gain must stop. Guys, do you think she's talking about me? I hope not. I mean, like the thought alone just gives me the vapors. Ooh. Um, my truth needs to be heard, and it is my right. Sarah, get a hold of me. I'll give you an interview. Do not give me rights expecting me not to fully utilize them. I voted for the president and governor while here in jail, and stop violating what I've been trying to utilize or lessen the value of my capabilities and opportunities. I didn't know you could vote in jail in Florida, but okay. I am not apologetic in any way for being an observant, hardworking, above average, citation needed, non-stereotypical inmate. I can only imagine, sadly, how others not as outspoken as myself have been and are being mistreated, overlooked, and dehumanized. Get it together. This is for Judge Wooten, and I think this is actually very important. At what point do you evaluate, intercede in the case to make sure there's proper communication, there's proper advancement and regular communication between the attorney and client, ethical treatment of client is being upheld, timeframes are being met, etc. I think that's actually something important. Because she's bringing up, like, hey, buddy, something's not happening. Like, when do you get involved? Clearly, you have known of the prolongation. God, Sarah, get that goddamn thesaurus, girl. I might mail you one. They're pretty cheap. The the prolongation of my difficulties from your comments regarding my letters, but with no intervention from you to change anything for a better, less problematic process. You've told me in the past when I tried to voice my legitimate concerns to you in the courtroom 5 times in total in 3.5 years, and then my letters is saving for my next attorney if told anything at all. Well, that's kind of his job. Is like, don't talk to me, talk to your attorney. Do tell, Your Honor, comma, which attorney? Question mark. I'm on my 6th, whom I've not seen in person for over another 3-month period. 12 weeks, 89 days. 525,600 minutes. And counting. Frank J. Bankowitz has been appointed as my attorney by the court. God, that was awful with the cough in there. To represent me in my case, it has been for 10 months and counting. Total approximate hours of representation, 7,200. Okay. He's not representing the entire time. He's working his other cases, but I get her point. He has been appointed to her for over 7,000 hours. Total times met with the client, Sarah Boone. I love how she has to include herself there. It's like people are going to get really confused about what case is all about. Like Sarah gives a shit about anything else this guy's doing. 6 times. Phone numbers given to the client by attorney 2. Phone calls answered from client by attorney 0. That's not good. Outside sources calling attorney on behalf of client 3. Phone calls, emails, voicemails answered by attorney 0. That's not good either. Letters client sent to attorney trying to communicate, 7. Okay. Letters defendant client sent to judge trying to communicate, animate attorney in unsuccessfulness. God, you need that. You need a thesaurus. 5. 15-minute video visits. 15-minute video visits between the attorney and client, 3. That's not a lot of time, really. Attended court dates scheduled, 2. I was attempted withdraw on another allowance to finally be included in my pretrial conference, which was the same information carried over from all the others. Now what? Yeah. If this is really kind of how it's shaken out, oh, I don't like this. I do not like this for her. I do not like this. So, a name of some sort saying, "Oh, if she for voting." Yeah, I just didn't know if they would. Just didn't know if they did because it's kind of a pain in the butt to vote. Oh fuck, saying at least she's sober. That's a shame. Says, "Oh shit, Sarah's in jail, writing about her struggle." Which, to be fair, this is kind of this is kind of shit. If this is even remotely true at this point, this is not good. I don't like this. Um, did want to say real quick, Rosie won. Just became a new member. Thank you, Rosie, so much. I appreciate the support very, very much. So thank you so very much. Um, making sure I didn't miss anybody else in the meantime. You guys are all fired up about Bankowitz. Um, President-elect Four Doors, more horrors. Oh my god. For 199 saying Sarah's feeling boxed in by her counterparts. Uh there's many ways I can read that joke, so I'm not sure which way to read that right now. But yes, thank you. That's a shame, says Matthew Moore said his attorney, Diane Menashe, only met with him how many times before trial? Wasn't it 2 or 3? Yeah, but it sounds like those were actually fairly in depth. And if I bet I called Matt, he'd say, yeah, it was for a little while, not just like 15 minutes zipping in and out. I mean, a 15-minute visit almost sounds like it was done over the video phones, which you'll do that if you're like, I had met with a guy earlier this week and I met with them over the video phone and video visitation because it was quicker than getting clear to go up to see him in the tower. So, um, Samuel Williams, the founding father for 499. Thank you for the support. Says, just because she's in jail doesn't mean she's sober. I'm just saying. Yes, very true. Very true. Very true. Very, very true. Yes, if you can get it on the street, you can get it in jail. 100%. Uh, Brittany said she's kind of lining up things for ineffective counsel. It sounds like her attorney's doing that for her, and she's just documenting it because this stuff is officially part of the record. So that's the good thing that's going on there. It's all part of the record. Okay. But let's get back to what she's talking about. Um, why are and this is to the judge again? Why are you allowing / enabling my constitutional rights to be continuously violated? History lesson for everyone. The First Amendment. Okay. Fourth Amendment. Still not there. Fifth Amendment. Yes, you have the right. Fifth Amendment. Okay. Sixth Amendment. Yes, I agree again. The Eighth Amendment. What? Because you're being held out. You're being held on a. You can't post bond. The 14th Amendment. Yeah, but that's like a freebie. Everyone gets that one right. So, uh, why am I being judged for my legitimate letters I write in order to know the status of my case or attorney? And how much longer before something substantial occurs in the progress of 3.3 years later, other than the inappropriate prejudgments being made due to the excessive amount of my case information online and bigger and meaner fabrications of my case sensitive details in which I have not seen or even greater mind numbing one sided ignorance. I mean, she's talking about us. If I didn't write my letters, would you or anyone be aware of all my rightful concerns and still ongoing? Concerns still and ongoing. Okay, would you be aware of all my concerns still and ongoing? Is a perpetual question mark over a defendant's head the norm during a case due to inactivity, no communication, no help, no intervention, or answers being given by anyone in the justice system? Honestly, what has been done with about any of my letters other than being scanned and uploaded incorrectly, I made sure to correct so everyone is up to speed on my case status. Unfortunately, is all I have to report at this time. Okay. Why are you allowing numerous case safety and protection elements to be reached, violated, and manipulated? And why is a gag order? Wait, who's being manipulated and who's being violated? Who? Sarah, you have to say who. Why has a gag order never been implemented? Because that's a very last resort. In my case, turned into a unnecessary witch hunt from the innumerable violations of my case details being leaked and racketeered illegally in exchange for website hits, viewer ratings, etc., in exchange for money. Once again, I don't think racketeered is the right way you put that, but I get what you're saying. Being trafficked. What is your cut, Your Honor? Yeah, that's how you get the judge on your side. Wait. That's how you get the judge on your side. That's how you get the judge on your side. That's how you get the judge to say, Your Honor, how dirty are you? How much of this are you getting? I know you're crooked, Judge. Yeah, that's going to win the judge over. That's going to win the judge over. Oh, no. Oh, no, Sarah, you're not helping yourself here. So, you choose who knows what, where and how in your courtroom. When did court minutes become live? When he decided so, honey. Are you the one who authorizes the upload to the internet? Well, that's part of just being records that are available for court transparency and public access. It's all about how much rather than how did it happen. No matter the destruction caused in the meantime, it is irreparable. It's not even about the suitcase anymore. My case is now a global event with the video receiving over 3 million hits, depending on the website, in turn making me realize that's over 3 million less unprejudiced, unbiased, non-discriminatory fair jurors I will have to access on my case. How is that going to work? Now what? Yeah, this is just hilarious. Factoring in important private details should not be made before ready and available for the world to know about before I, the defendant, does that correct? Well, I mean, that's your attorney not helping you out here. You know, it is something to say, though, she's having to learn about all this stuff secondhand because her attorney's not staying in contact with her. It's not fair to her. This is what a trial is for. You should probably put a comma right there. Just put a comma right there. That would help a lot. That would help a lot. So that would help a lot. All right, I gotta say, apparently, another $10 tip in the locals chat from Brimstone, saying thank you. By the way, man, I appreciate the support. Says Biden is never at the White House; he's at the fake Oval Office across the street they created. Yeah, so that's why they said that, because he actually wasn't there. They knew it. He's over drooling in his house. At this point, what can even be rightfully suppressed in my case? Nothing can really be suppressed because you gave voluntary statements to the police. So there wasn't anything to suppress. Once you ring the bell, it cannot be unrung. Yeah, well, that's why you don't talk to the cops. You rung the bell, you dumbass. This is all your fault. You should have just shut up and cried the whole time. But no, you had to talk. You know, it's already been heard, and I don't even know where the bell is or who's ringing it. You're the one out there was ringing it. When you were sitting in the interview room with the cops, you're up there just going ding, 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 like you're calling in the Cowboys for dinner. That was you, Sarah. Jesus Christ. When do I, the main component in my case, actually get to know, see, hear everything everyone else already has? When am I going to be included? That's a question for you and your attorney. When is the next status hearing? You stated would happen before my pretrial on July 11th. My attorney's 1 year mark. Am I included? Yeah, I think she has the right to say I want to be there. Okay. Um, what else can I do to ensure the productivity, communication, incorruptibility, appropriation, and intellectualism of my case? The intellectualism of my case. Like that's interesting. It is my right to know so I can begin or continue for true progress of any kind to be finally succeeded. Then she's asking your attorney, where are you? Our last hearing, our last visitation was February 15th. When is our next meeting? Remember, please, there are still time sensitive matters pressing. I mean, yes, getting ready for trial is time sensitive, but I doubt there's a witness or some evidence that's just sitting there slowly eroding away. But hey, maybe there is. She knows her case better than I do. Um, FY, in the 10 months of your representation, here are the 6 meeting dates which have occurred, so you could so you could see prospectively the massive time gaps in between while I've been sitting eagerly waiting, wondering. Okay, so in 2022, July 14th, August 2nd, August 22nd, and then nothing the rest of the year. And then in 2023, January 20th, February 3rd, February 15th. Okay, and then March, April, and then May to date, he has not met with her. Why aren't you fixing either the 2 phone numbers you gave me back in your appointment? That is a big deal. Why can't I get a hold of you myself? Not like, oh, we keep missing each other. Just she can't even dial out to him. That's a big no-no. Every time I ask you about, it's a different excuse. Much progress can be had in a very expeditious manner if completed. Why has it not been almost a year later? Why do you keep telling me to call when you know they don't work? As said before, public defenders answer their calls and reply to mail. Why are you unable or willing? See the difference it will make. Yeah. Because, right now she's got people sitting in her pod, and those girls are like, I got a public defender, and he stays in touch with me. So it's, yeah, just not looking good. Not looking good. Um, where are we? Where are we? Um, our agreement made from one of my letters I wrote earlier this year after not hearing from you in a solid 5-month prior. I love it's like an agreement I made with you in a letter you probably didn't read. Was to connect every 2 weeks with or without any significant progress. Why have you not been holding this agreement even in a 15-minute video visit? Remember, a phone call is another option and not as difficult technologically. A working number is needed, just one. Okay. What are your anticipated dates of completion for anything already discussed and will eventually, when you actually do show up for an in-person scheduled meeting? I asking the incomplete dates, like I don't know. There are 1,000 little fires needing to be put out. You're holding the fire hose. Oh, I bet Frank is holding the hose. Frank and your big meaty hose. Now, once again, we get back to the main theme that was talked about in the beginning. From my perspective, the botched eye rolling experience I am going through still, and how I believe anyone would act or do if in my sides doing the same. What would you do? Do not fault me in trying to make the best, most successful outcome possible for myself in every aspect of convoluted predicament I am and have been over the past 3 years. I'd rather be called a narcissist, pain in the ass, arrogant, strange, or whatever else anyone wants to waste their time to think of. Just don't call me a murderer, which I am not. Okay, attempted murder. No one knows me except for the ludicrous insanity that's been made up, mocked, edited, and spewed off all over the internet. It's not me. Once again, we're the bad guys. She keeps on talking about, I highly anticipate a day will come, whatever that will be. It's God's timing. I will continue to wait smiling. At least everyone will know I'm not sitting around eating bonbons, watching soap operas. I don't think anybody thought you were doing that, Sarah. Application is a product of the lesson. Give me my choice appropriately, correctly, and fairly in court. Unfortunately, my perspective of our justice system is incredibly dim and dull. I hope my very overdue blinding light has shone brightly for all to see a glimpse of how it really works. Yes, Sarah Boone's pulled the curtain away, folks. And being a system, we all have to work together to function in unison. Please help see the difference. I'm trying to be and make nothing a waiting and wondering, keeping it real. Now what? Signed, Sarah Boone. It's like, I don't know about that. So that is it for Sarah. She rides again. Jake Christman says her perspective is iron bars. The amateur iconoclast says, but you are. Jim says, check Twitter for the next level retardation of a lawsuit I tweeted at you. Huh. Okay. Well, I probably will tonight if we get done. We could probably talk about locals. If it's good, we'll keep it around for next week. Yes. Vol says, unbreaded. Oof. Oof. So that's been it. Yeah, she's making a difference. What a hero. Okay, President-elect 4 Doors More Harris for $199. Thank you, by the way. Next month, Sarah introduces new words. Sarah, next month, instead of perspective, I want you to learn about comf. Deriving from Russian, meaning war, but also sometimes struggle. Oh. Yes. So yes, Sarah needs a thesaurus. Maybe I'll mail one to her so she can have one. I'll just say, look, it'll help you in the long run. Vava says I need to grift off her crazy letter better. Yeah, I know, but it's the letter kind of grifts itself. That's the only problem. So Jessica Wiley's thinking, I'm sure she would love to put her attorney in a suitcase. Sure, but you know what? I think her attorney's as big as me, so putting him in a suitcase ain't gonna go well. J-Man over on and Tim the Ann are Tim Ethan are saying, don't comf. J-Man says, I'm gonna comf. 7-Eleven says, why is your about page linked to the WEF website? Shh. Okay. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Sarah. We'll see what happens to her. But to let you guys know, she is out there still being a lunatic and probably will be through trial. Next up, and this one is another New York Post issue. A professor in New York City encountered a reporter and chased that reporter with a machete, which I know a lot of you are thinking, well, it's a reporter, so who cares? But remember that, they just like gingers, reporters have souls too. But there is a little bit of video about this one. And I think this one's the good one. So and this is all in response to a college professor named Shellen Rodriguez. And she lived in the Bronx, but she was on video cursing out some anti-abortion students. Okay. And she was at Hunter College, and that's in New York City. So the professor and the photographer and the reporter went to go try to track her down, and well, she was waiting for him. Yes, and as you can see, she's walking along with a machete. Yes. And I guess there's no sound because it's just a dash cam. So as she does her thing, you can see just that beautiful footage of her waving a machete in his face. You're not allowed to do that, especially in New York City. Um, yes, and then she runs away with the machete, and they chase after her. It's like, I'm not chasing the person with the machete. But as the first attack on the doctor did not fare well, it looked like she was going to start hitting the truck with the rest of it. That did not happen. But that said, the true issues regarding this is that earlier she held the machete right to the reporter's throat, which I mean, yes, I'll teach you to speak English with this knife. Or, a reporter getting Glasgow smiles. Not a bad idea. Or in this case, a Colombian necktie. Job well done, says Danny Trejo, and this is based. Yeah. So that's where we are with it. She went a little crazy with all the stuff, but yeah, that doesn't look good. And she has since been charged. So yes, she's just trying to teach him the riddle of steel. Just trying to teach him the riddle of steel. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Fuck says, I bet she has a comp as well. She might have a comp as well. Oh. Hold on here. Got a text. So, yes, I know, and that's the problem here, Necromancer. You're right. College professors and journalists are some of the worst professions that exist. I know. So when you see them like go at it, you're like, I'm torn. Do I want to see a reporter get chased down the street by a professor with a machete? No. But do I kind of laugh at it, and does it warm my heart a little bit? Yes. So I understand. It's a bit of an issue there. Some of you guys in your comments are hilarious here. Are hilarious. So, and then moving on, this is a interesting part of the Alec Baldwin saga here. I know that we're talking about it because it is something to talk about. Zero fucks says, so a journalism professor is the worst. Yes. Yes, 100%. This was an interesting story. This came out last week. At the end of the week. So the hammer of the gun that Alec Baldwin was holding when it fired a live round, killing Helena Hutchins, may have been intentionally modified. New Mexico prosecutor said this week on a court filing. Now, remember, they said they were looking to dismiss at this point because they had some concerns about the gun itself. Well, it sounds like this is at least one of the issues. I'm betting there are multiple issues, but we'll have to wait to see. So the modification appears to be related to the notches on the internal portion of the hammer for full cock, half cock, and quarter cock positions. Huh. So it sounds like, and if we'll have to go back through all of these, and I guess maybe I still am going to buy the 45 as the official show, the official show revolver. It appears that if they did modify the cock positions on the hammer, and there's some sear engagement problems, yeah, that might be. I mean, that's whew. Um, the prosecutor sent these documents asking that the stuff get handed over to a forensic testing. Okay, well, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It appears the notches may have been partially removed or ground down. Oh no, that's not good. Now, the FBI tested the gun and said it wouldn't fire unless the trigger was pulled. And if you guys remember, Runkle and I did that way back. It's like, gosh, that was long. That was last year. And they almost had to destroy the gun to make it fire. But the prosecutor said there was nothing to see if the hammer was modified, how it was modified, and then what impact it might have. So I have the feeling this is still going to further work out in Alec Baldwin's favor. I mean, let's be real; it's going to keep going. So, so yeah, we'll see. And Jim, you brought up a good point, and this is in the thing that Runkle and I talked about. Yes, the sear, like they basically had to break the gun to fire it when the hammer was back. Like they beat on it when the hammer was cocked. Now, I have a feeling they can tell what they did to it and what other marks may have been there previously in certain spots. So I think that's what'll happen there. But yes, this would be great cannon fodder at a trial for his attorneys to point out, like, so this gun's already been manipulated to the point of failure already by the FBI. How do we know this hasn't been screwed with otherwise? So the prosecutors yet to reveal how live rounds got in the set of the low budget movie. Because Hannah Reed, the armorer, was an idiot. This part here is kind of dumb. The prosecutors want her jacket to test her for gunpowder residue testing. That doesn't do anything because gunpowder residue never goes bad. It just, you don't know when it was fired. So was it fired? Is she covered in gunpowder residue from being on set, from shooting her guns, or just being around the guns and reloading and doing all that fun stuff? Like it doesn't take much. So I don't know how that's gonna help them. So Hannah Reed's attorneys filed a motion to dismiss on the grounds of lack of prosecutorial authority and violations of Hannah Reed's due process rights. Well, I think it's only fair, but they're not going to do it. So, yes, and Alec hired her. Yes. Goalie 171 says, "Don't forget you promised to do a video on her police interrogation. Trust me, it's hilarious." Yes, I'm still going to get to that. It's going to have to be after June though, because I got a trial on the 5th and 6th. I got a trial on the 12th, a 1-day trial on the 12th, 1-day trial on the 14th, and then I've got like a 7-day trial starting the 20th. So gonna be a little busy. This gonna be a little busy coming up here. Oh boy. Okay. So I think it's once more, we're gonna have to see what the issues are. And I think we'll learn more as it goes along, as it goes along. Um, Now, this one's interesting because we have been talking about this, and it's Jim is saying if the gun was modified, that would not be on her; it would be on the prop house that supplied the gun. Mm, I mean, I'm just thinking about this here. It's Ed Sheeran time. We're thinking out loud. Um, I think you're right. But remember, she's an armor, so she should be able to say, "Hey, this gun's fucked with. Why are we using it?" And she should be able to say, "No, no, 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 guys. Give me guns that I have not been dicked with. Don't give me your, speed action cowboy guns. Give me guns that are normal and safe." I mean, if she's the armor, she's in charge of all that. So, is the armor a gunsmith? Not necessarily, but she should know everything that's going on with these guns to make sure they work because she might have to work on them or do something. So that'll be, yeah. So we mentioned this last week. We mentioned this as it's been going on with Hunter Biden, his his tax case, the things that are going on. Well, there was a whistleblower saying that his criminal probe for tax evasion was getting slow walked. Well, that guy finally came forward. So, the guy who did it is Gary Shapley, who was recently removed from the Justice Department investigation. Um, Spoke ahead of a scheduled meeting with the House Ways and Means Committee on Friday, which, we'll see what happens. So that's tomorrow. There are multiple steps that were slow walked. We were just completely not done at the direction of the DOJ. When I took control of this particular investigation, I immediately saw deviations from the normal process. It was way outside the norm of what I've experienced. Um, he says, for a couple years, we've been noticing these deviations in the investigative process, and I just couldn't, fathom that DOJ might be acting unethically on this. Like a true government apparatchik. Guys, I really didn't think the government could be being really crooked. Okay, Gary. Now remember, be careful about considering him like, oh my God, this guy's like a patriot. He worked for the IRS. He was a Fed. Like, maybe he's mad the government's not following the rules, but not necessarily what the rules underlie. Just you got to be careful about his motivations. Just saying, till we know. He was concerned about how the prosecutors handled a high-profile, controversial investigation. Yeah, yeah. They raised questions about the irregularities um, as everything's gone on. The attorney's office in Delaware, which is overseeing the Hunter Biden probe, declined to comment, as it did a DOJ spokesperson, meaning they're not going to do anything. Really, they're not. So it is interesting what's going to happen here. Federal prosecutors spent years spanning three attorneys general, investigating Hunter and have, for tax crimes, making a false statement, FARA violations, being a registered agent, the whole thing about just leaving a gun laying around after you've bought it. Like, yeah, he's got a lot of problems. Buying the gun while being a, drug addict. There's all kinds of stuff. Like, keep in mind, as soon as this guy goes to a hearing, they are going to tear him apart. They will eat him alive. So, oh my God, I'm not reading some of the stuff you guys are talking about in Rumble. I mean, in locals. Jesus. J-Man says, don't grind your cock notches. Yeah, it's very important. Very important. So. Alyssa saying, sing more Ed Sheeran. You were doing great. Thank you. Oh, get some of these other chats out of the way. Larry's saying she should be released based on her excellent penmanship. Yeah, she has very good penmanship. Referring to Sarah Boone. Fox is saying, what font did she use? Yeah. The name of some sort says, still writes like a font. Impressive. Yeah, it is weird. It is weird how she writes. So, Fair Frozen 55, $5. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Says, Sean, you saw the schizoid lawsuit against the NFA that got linked to Mad and Fudbusters from the desk of Yes, Mark Germo, gentleman, Esquire, Juris Doctor. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap up with that because that's just it's gonna be interesting there. And Goalie saying the gun in the Alec Baldwin case, it turns out, is made by CRS Firearms. It's almost like a machine gun then. Yes, that was that'd be hilarious. Name is saying I had him way back on those. Yeah, I started a couple of them. I just didn't get a chance to get to them. It's just been a busy night. You guys are like the chat is just going a mile a minute here. And on a more sober note, this one, well, this is pretty sad. This is pretty sad. So in New Mexico, a 19-year-old, they're calling her a teen. Well, she's 19. It wasn't like she's like a 14-year-old. Alexi Treviso showed up at the hospital, you know, with back pains and some other issues having. It was really bad. And they told her apparently she didn't know she was pregnant. They told her she was, pregnant and it's time to deal with it. Well, who knows if that's really the case or not. I don't know if we'll ever know. But it gets a little bit awkward because after a while, she ran into the bathroom. Okay. Well, while she was there, she locked herself in a bathroom where she gave birth to the baby, tied him up in a trash bag, and hid him underneath other trash in the garbage can. I mean, I don't know how you. Maybe it's manslaughter, but I don't know how you get around all that because that's pretty elaborate. So she left that bathroom, and by the time the baby was found, he had suffocated. Such a fucking shame. Such a fucking shame. And there's video of her sitting in the room. And they're asking like, where is it? What happened? Tell us what happened. And she won't. But yeah, that's it's yeah, not good. Not good. There is another case similar to this that occurred out in New Mexico. A 19-year-old threw her baby out into an outdoor trash can in January of 2020, and she just got 16 years in prison. So I have the feeling ultimately she's in trouble. Steve G says the video definitely won't help her case. Yeah, I'd say it sounds like she's yeah. So oh, hold on. It's saying Zero Fuck saying the Surfs probably support her. Yeah, Lance does because you're not adding to the mass graves that he may have or may not have found. The GM says, how fat do you have to be to pretend not to be pregnant? I don't know, but there are stories of women who have actually gone through things and at the time they weren't, and then they just so it happens. It happens. So I was going to talk about the SCOTUS case tonight, guys, about stopping government theft. Basically, on this one, the government has to sell your house for tax purposes, and they meet their burden, like they get their money back. Whatever they have left over goes to you. It's no longer some places where they can screw with it. But that's kind of the long and the short of it. I'll probably try to do something about it. If not, I know Kurt will have done something about it in the meantime. What I can tell you is the best thing out there is this case here. So this guy, this Chad, here, put together a lawsuit, and it's just brilliant what he did. Oh my God, why is this thing so? Jeez, my screen just exploded on me. That's what she said. Yes, it is. So anyway, I'm trying to, God, where did it go? I just had it up. I just had this guy's thing up, and it's the most mental thing ever. All right, there we go. I can find it now. Where is it? I saw here. Okay, here we go. What? Oh God! Why does it do this to me? What is a JFIF file? And who the fuck uses one of those? I mean, really, who uses that file? I've never heard of it. Who ever wants to use it? Nobody ever wants to look at one or use one. I don't get it. Save it as a JPEG there. All right, let's see. Now this will load up. People. All right. Okay, so now we're going to zoom in on this bad boy. Okay. So just as a hint, I'm bringing this up as what not to do. And oh my God, what did you guys talk shit about in the meantime? Yes, a real GIF. Oh, Jim is saying this is the case I was talking about that I tweeted at you. Yes, I saw this though. So, oh, it says JPEG file interchange format. Oh, okay. Boomer alert. Oh, thank you, Rihanna. Oh, boomer alert. So this is from a guy. His name is Mark Jerome Johnson Blount. I think Blount. I'm not really sure. I don't really. I don't. You know what? Who knows? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Mark Jerome Johnson Blount, the plaintiff in the United States District Court for the Western District of Missouri. And this was received on April 7th, which, okay, so it's a little late for us. But who's he going after? Merrick Garland, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. Awesome. Bernard G. Hansen, special agent in charge of it in the Kansas City Field Division. Okay. So what are we going here for, Marky Mark? He wants a complaint for declaratory judgment, injunctive relief, and attorney's fees. Here's the thing. When you're doing this as a pro se litigant, you do not get attorney's fees. So just keep that in mind, just between us girls. But this is where it gets cringe, and this is where you really don't do. So the plaintiff, Mark Jerome Johnson Blount, Gentleman Esquire. Okay. Juris Doctor graduate of Duke University School of Law and score of a 173, which is part of the 99th percentile on the law school admissions test, the LSAT. Which, okay, yes, getting a 173 is pretty banging. You can go to most law schools with a 173. I did not get a 173. And for those of you wondering, the LSAT is a test, the law school admissions test. It's a score ranging from 120 to 180. So, yeah. And then he got a 169.6, roughly the 95th percentile, on the multi-state bar exam portion of the uniform bar exam. The multi-state bar exam is a 200 multiple choice section of the uniform bar exam, and it's 200 questions. They do like constitutional law, property, contracts, civil procedure, and some other stuff. It's a pain in the ass to do. So he's got some pretty good things there, but you don't list any of that crap. Why is he listing that? Because he's a law student. He doesn't know any better. He's also probably a bit of a spurg too, really, if we know. But you know what? Here's the thing: if anybody can get a hold of this guy, I'll let him come on and talk about his case. I'll let him come on and talk. Anyways, he praises courts enters a declaratory judgment pursuant to the National Firearms Act and the Gun Control Act of 1968, and the Firearms Owners Protection Act of 1986, here and after the National Firearms Acts, are unconstitutional, and they infringe upon and deprive him of his ancient inalienable right, private, individual, absolute, ancestral, sovereign, common law right to keep and bear arms. I mean, yeah, that'd be great if we could do all this, but like, you know, I can just say, like, that ain't happening, man. That ain't happening. Sir Fuck's thing is Merrick Garland. Is that the guy that's not on the Supreme Court? I think so. I think it's the guy who got snubbed a couple years ago. Senior Spielberg says, "Do I look like what I know what a GIF file is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog." Oh, it's Trenton saying, "No, Sean is right. Some formats don't need to exist." Thank you. Fairfrose is saying, "Did this guy study under Matthew Harris?" I think so a little bit. Brooks Euchre says, "Sean, will this base man get a court appearance?" You know what? I will. We'll go. You know what? Let's fire a pacer. Let's do a little. You know, on the map. On the map. On the map. Let's see. Western District Court of Missouri. God, Missouri's. No, it just only got Eastern and Western. Okay. Western District Court. Let's see what pacer. Case management, ECF. ECF. Let's see here. BLOUNT. Blunt. Mark Jerome John. Jesus Christ. This is really cringe. But let's see. Docket report. Oh God, I'm really hoping this is a. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. I'll bring this up just so you can see. As of right meow, nothing's really happened except his pro se complaint. So, you know what? Fuck it. Since we're here, we'll view view selected. 221 pages. Oh hell no, we are not reading all that. I forgot. This guy had 189 pages. I ain't doing that. Maybe a different time. David Singh used Chat GPT. He's not chilly. Give him some credit. Name some sources. I didn't get a 173 either. Yeah. Oh, that's Shame says evidence in crim. You know what? I forgot, but yeah, thank you. Jim is saying, why didn't he list his IQ and autism spectrum? Oh, I'm sure if he could have, he probably should have. Yes, I suffer from re-itis. It's Trenton says, as someone who's very much not a lawyer, wouldn't you rip off a successful filing of someone else to write yours? 100% you would. I've, you know, when I've seen really good briefs and, you know, motions out there, I take them and save them. Or if I'm dealing with opposing counsels and they send things out and I look at it and I'm like, damn, that's really good. I'm keeping that. Throw it in a file. I have a file for like motions, and I list them out what they are. And yeah, you hold on to things. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. If somebody out there has already done it well, you can reuse it. 100%. That's James says, oh, and con law. I think I got con law right. And David says, dang it, Bobby. Dang it, Bobby. Oh, hi, Clyde. Hi, Bubba. Hello. Hello. Oh, apparently I don't know if everybody's seen Clyde Bear. Hold on. Here we go. You ready, buddy? Here we go. Hi. See, my dog's cuter than Matt and Rosier's dog. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. More cuter than I think is Rosie. Huh, you're such a cute dog. Huh? Woof, woof, woof. You're looking the wrong way, bud. Don't you want to come and see everybody on camera? Don't you want to come and see everybody on camera? You want to sniff the microphone again? All right. Mwah, thank you. I'm going to let you go. Fair Frozen says, God, please allow Bruin to at least have him force the ATF to show up and prepare any kind of rebuttal. They have to. They have to respond. They can't just ignore him. He's seeking declaratory relief. So it may not be procedurally right, but they have to respond to it. They can't just default. I mean, they could default, but that's not good. Ag Biochemist says, holy shit, that's in my area. I want to go watch this Berg. Yeah, well, there's nothing yet. Nothing yet's been set. But you have the right to attend federal court even then. It's a little more of a pain in the ass to get in the building, but yeah, you have the right to go. Federal court hearings are open. Although this is going to be a lot of like paperwork and motion practice. Jubble Dunce says, right meows. I was just fuck reading that, yeah. Excel right. Oh, for $10. Thank you, man. Good to see you. It's been a little while. I need to reach out to you. Hope Johnny's doing well too. I saw him kicking around. Dear Sean, here is money. Sincerely, some other Sean. Aw, thank you. Alec says, can we make a new font based on Sarah Boone letters? Yes, that'd be perfect. Aaron E says he is surely a 299.0. Yeah. Unhung Hero for $2. Thank you. Says, I'm gonna come. Don't come. Don't come. Yeah, so you get the doggo. Yeah, he came running in. What kind of dog is he? Something kind of like a Shih Tzu, because he's got like the Shih Tzu underbite, but I don't know. He was at the shelter, so we don't really know. We're gonna do the dog. We're curious, so we're doing the dog ancestry DNA thing. So we'll find out. We'll probably find out he's like 10% Nigerian as well. Don't really know. Jim says, yes, Jim says, I have to admit, I'm 100% with him up to this point in the filing. Yes. Yes, Jim, you know that's great when it's 189 pages ago, but you're like, you know what? Page 1, your first paragraph, I'm right there with you, brother. At least you start off supporting him. What should someone wear to federal court? Are polos and flip-flops okay? I'd wear shoes, closed-toed shoes. But you can wear a polo shirt. Yeah, that'd be fine. Fuck says don't show a dog by taking the ATF. I love to live dangerously. Find me, Fed boys. Find me, Fed boys. That's what I've got to say. Winter Soldier says the dog's done licking my balls. No. He'd still be working on it. Job well done says, well, they give you flip-flops when you get to jail. Yes. Yes, they do. Mofuck says he's potentially mutt. Yes. Jim is saying in the Sarah Boone font will be called Boone font. Yes. I don't think he's Ashkenazi. I don't think so. Fair Frozen says, as long as he's not an Argentinian dog with German ancestry. I know, there'll be some weird questions to ask. Senior Spielberg says there'll be 3% Ashkenazi Jew. You guys. And this is who we are. It says, hopefully no white girl DNA is in there. Oh, yeah. No. Oh. Brooks, you know what? You kind of gave me an idea here. Maybe I'll quote from I'll read some of it and see if we can quote it like Matthew Harris. There's going to be a lot of like racial slurs in it, but you could try to read it that way. Maybe I'll do that. So we'll try. That's actually a good idea. Thank you. But yeah, with that little bit of levity, that's kind of where I wanted to end tonight, guys. Just remember, what you may have done in your life is cringe. It has not been as cringe as that, and that's pretty cringe. As the saying goes, that's as it goes, and this is, I think, where we need to leave off tonight. And this is the best way. Okay.
Whatever you scream, no. Only me. I'm cringe, and that's first. I'll never be baked, and that's not cringe. There's no one I'd rather do than me.
So just remember, guys. Just remember. Says I'm muted. Oh, I don't know, Rabbit. Yeah, sorry. Oh. Would they? Fair Frozen says. Jim says it really gets going on page 147. I'll take a look at it. Fair Frozen says, would they allow you to make a filing in court like that? Just posting a 189-page document with 8,000 mentions of the N-word in it? I don't want to find out, but if you want to, I mean, by all means, you can try it. I don't recommend it, but if you do it, you do it. Oh. The immature iconoclast, is that an anus he's flying into? No, that's from Wreck-It Ralph, bro. Come on. Anyway, guys, that is it for tonight. So remember, you've never been that cringe before, and you won't ever be that cringe in your life. It's a good thing. It's a very, very good thing. So that is it for tonight, everybody over in the Rumble Ghetto. Guys, thank you for being there. I hope I showed you a little more love. Try to. Then everybody over here on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. Everybody on Locals chat, thank you for being here. Everybody posted comments, guys, thank you so much. I always enjoy the comments. You guys are makes it go by, and I always appreciate the support. If you guys have liked, shared, and subscribed, thank you. I know a lot of you guys are on the replay crew. Thank you so much for that. The guys you leave algorithm food to, thank you so much. Then also, just not last but not least, super chatters, the Rumble ranters. If you're tipping over on Locals, guys, thank you so much for that. Every little bit of that, I really appreciate. I appreciate all the support. And I will leave you guys with this until next time. Just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. I mean, unless you're trying to ride a truck into the White House, then I guess, you're not guilty. They'll just let you go. Apparently, that's how it works. That's not legal advice. That's just the reality of it. So have a good night, guys. Brooks, you're looking for a Discord link? That should be down below. If you look in the description below. Good night, guys.